Moving on to our next segment, we're changing it up. This I think might become our rotating segment. Maybe we'll figure something to keep here permanently. I don't know. We'll see. But we're starting this week with each of us have put together a list of our top 10 quarterbacks in the league currently that are active. So players like Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert are not going to be included in this because Deshaun Watson, because they're all out for the season. But players that are currently active or will be like CJ Stroud's on the list, but he's someone that'll be coming back. So all of us put together a top 10, and we're going to just show those to you and then debate a little bit amongst each other's lists. See if we can come in with the real list, the best list. And we're probably going to start with that right now with mine. I got at number 10, Trevor Lawrence. He's had a pretty good season. Tough day against the Browns, 3 picks, not great. Number 9, Jared Goff. Again, these two probably would have been higher up earlier in the season, but because of these last couple of weeks, they've kind of fallen off a little bit. Trevor Lawrence had a good game against the Bengals, but
Yep, and Jared Goff has looked like a fraud. But yeah, go ahead. No, continue.
for the majority of the season, who has a better record? Oh yeah, the Lions do. Who's done better at home? Oh yeah, the Lions have. So I mean, I don't know.
Yep, quarterback stats.
Mm,
Yep, all quarterback stats.
Yeah, who
mm.
has a better touchdown to interception ratio? Jared Goff. So I mean, who has more yards, Jared Goff? Like, what are we talking about here? Number 8, C.J. Stroud. He's had an amazing rookie season. He looks great. Number 7, Jalen Hurts. He's been a little up and down the season. Some games he's looked fantastic. Other games he has looked less than fantastic. But I'll tell you what, his team right now is 10-3. They are for the most part, finding ways to win games the last 2 weeks, barring the last 2 weeks. And he has spurts where he looks even better than he did last year. And then he's having a little bit of a fumbling problem, which is why he's not higher up on this list. He was an MVP favorite through the first 10 weeks of the season. He's fallen off a little bit. Have him at 7. Lamar Jackson at
Mhm.
number 6. Lamar has kind of stayed steady all season. He's been very solid. Their team has only been trailing in the fourth quarter in one game this year. Ironically, even though they have 3 losses, the only game that they were trailing in the fourth quarter is actually a game that they won. But he's looked great even without his top pass catcher in Mark Andrews. He's really elevated Zay Flowers. Odell's starting to come along. Rashad Bateman kind of is looking like a bust in the first round, but we'll see if he can put it together before the end of the year. But the Ravens are just a really good team. Number 5, Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the NFL if you take that last couple of years. This year he's having an off year,
Crybaby.
partially yeah, he's a big crybaby, partially attributed to the fact that his receivers don't know apparently how to catch the football, how to line up on sides, any of that stuff. And he's clearly becoming frustrated with only being able to trust Travis Kelsey. That's not to say he hasn't still been great. He still has been pretty fantastic, but not the normal number 1 Patrick Mahomes. Number 4, Tua. Tua's also looked pretty fantastic this season, but I think a lot of people could look fantastic if they were throwing to Tyreek Hill. Having said that, Tua has been one of the most accurate passers over the last 2 years, and when he stayed healthy, which he has this year, he has been crushing it in yards. Right now, he's number 2 in the NFL in total yards. And again, he is that upper epsilon this year and a sort of dark horse MVP candidate. I think the two people at the top of all of our lists are kind of the top two to win it this year. But don't be surprised if Tua has a good couple weeks here to see his name start sliding up that. Number 3, Josh Allen. Josh Allen has had a little bit of an interception problem this season, but when he's not throwing interceptions, he's falling out of bounds backwards and hitting someone dead in stride or throwing a touchdown. He is tied for first in the NFL in quarterback rushing touchdowns, and he, I believe, I'll have to relook again, but I'm pretty sure he's number 1 or he's top 3 at least in total touchdowns scored. He makes fantastic plays with his arm. It's kind of unbelievable, actually, to see him throw the football. So he comes in at number 3. And then your top two, I think you could have either of these guys kind of one. They're like 1A, 1B this year. Both of them have fantastic teams around them. You got Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. Brock Purdy has had a fantastic season. I think a lot of people view him as a game manager, but if you watch that pass to Debo Samuel in the game last week, 45 yards down the field on the line, Debo doesn't break stride. It's like, yeah, Jacoby Brissett couldn't do that. Someone that's coming in there to just manage a game is not doing that. That is a good
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. He's had a great season, even with the talent around him. And number one, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has totally surprised me this year. After leading the league in interceptions last year, he decided I should probably stop throwing it to the other team and start throwing the ball to CD Lamb. He has done that, and CD Lamb's had his best season, and Dak Prescott is currently having his best season. These are my top 10. Take it.
Or leave it. Um,
I agree with a lot of
my,
Ryan's. Him and mine were very
I
similar. So
so is mine and his as well. Like I think the only difference is the bottom. I have Justin Fields and Matthew Stafford. He has Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts. Other
yeah.
than that, it's pretty close. Like Josh Allen is a little higher on his list than mine, but that's about it. That being said, to think me personally, CJ Stroud has had a better season. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Then
Okay,
who?
then Jalen Hurts. I said.
Oh, I didn't hear the Jalen Hurts. Sorry, you cut out a little bit on my headset. CJ Stroud's had a fantastic season, but you can't just have a 4 game stretch and be like, yep, he's better. His 4 game stretch is better than any 4 game stretch that Jalen Hurts has had. But if you look at the whole season and what Jalen Hurts means to his team, and CJ Stroud means a lot to his team. Remember, he was one spot behind. We're not talking like you
Yeah.
know, fifth
Mm-hmm.
and 20th here. CJ has
Mhm.
been fantastic. But I think if you look at what Jalen means to his team, if you look at his rushing ability and you look at his durability playing through injuries. Now, CJ obviously just got injured. It's a concussion, like hard to avoid that stuff. But his durability plays through injuries, has had fantastic games, and has his team tied for first place in the NFC. That's why I gave the edge to Jalen.
Fair. All
Fair
right,
enough.
on to the correct list. We are starting with my most controversial pick in this top 10 list. At number 10, and let me explain how I decided. It's more of a recency bias, I will say. Yes. That being said, like we do with our power rankings, this is like next week, if I want one of these quarterbacks to be on the field, who do I think is going to perform better? And I think Justin Fields rounds out my top 10 at number 10. And the
5 and
reason
8.
because yes, again, winning is a quarterback stat, only quarterback stat. It only matters to the quarterback. Yes. No. Justin Fields is a playmaker, is probably the most dynamic quarterback in the league right now. With the ball in his hands, I think he is able to
Think he's more
carry this.
dynamic than Lamar Jackson is?
Absolutely.
And Josh Allen is?
Yes.
No,
Mm.
dude.
At their peaks, Justin Fields has a higher peak than any quarterback in this league, in my opinion. Is he there yet?
Mm.
No. But will he be there? I do believe so. This being said, Justin Fields has the arm talent, is probably the most okay, you can say Lamar is just as athletic, but I think Justin Fields will eventually a lot like Dak Prescott where he's missing his drops, I think the biggest difference between last year and this year for Dak Prescott is his cadence. One, obviously. Here we go.
Go.
Well, yes, that helps him. That he explains it himself. That helps him a lot. And then also, once he gets back to his back drop, the ball is out of his hands every time. That gets you less than that. He gets the ball out of his hands probably less than 2.7 seconds every time. I think that's been the biggest issue with Justin Fields so far. I think that's a pretty easy fix, as you saw from Dak having the most interceptions to being an MVP candidate this year. I think, but we're talking about this year anyways. So, that being said, this year, when we've seen Justin Fields, he has carried this Bears team. Him and DJ Moore, the great additions. I think Justin Fields playing kind of out of his mind, but nobody really wants to give him the credit because everyone's like, oh, they're going to get the top pick. Blah, blah, blah. No. Matthew Stafford, second. After he came back from his injury, has looked incredible. Yes, he has great weapons to throw the ball to, but some of the throws that he's making is crazy. Also, some of the catches, but you have to have the throw to make the catch. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, again, I'm not a stat warrior. I do not look at stats. Yes, last week, terrible game. Again, I don't think he should have been playing last week. That being said, if we look previously last couple weeks, dude has been playing out of his mind as well. He is very accurate, is making the smarter decisions not to force the ball, except for again last week. We'll talk about that. To force the ball into the coverage, especially in the red zone. He's looked really efficient in the red zone, whether that is deciding to take off and run or not forcing throws again. Next, we have Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, like Ryan said, is the best quarterback in the league. Yes, no doubt. But again, off year, that I think has a lot to do with weapons. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has probably been one of the more consistent quarterbacks this year. Hasn't had the flashy stats, but again, consistency is carrying his team. And also, like, if he had the help of if he had more depth at wide receiver, if he had honestly just people that could catch the ball, like their drop rate is terrible for the Ravens. Josh Allen, I always give flack to. He's in my top 5. Why is he in my top 5? He's played amazing. Again, like Ryan said, bar the turnovers that everyone wants to focus in an eagle eye on. He's been carrying this team as well. He especially that Eagles game. If you look at pretty much everything but that interception he had, you look at all those plays that he was making, ridiculous. CJ Stroud.
He had a play this week against the Chiefs where it was 4th down, and he literally just stops, pump fakes 3 times, and
Mhm.
then like with just his wrist throws
Flicks
it
it,
20 yards on a line. I mean, it was absurd. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No,
I
you're
have
good. You're right. Yeah, no,
great-
like thank you. Yeah, he yes, he is very dynamic. Again, I think at each other's peaks, I just believe Justin Fields has the higher peak. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do I think Josh Allen is more dynamic right now? Absolutely. But that being said, he's at 5. Justin Fields at 10. Don't fucking throw my name in the mud. All right. CJ Stroud. Oh, sorry guys.
It's okay, we'll edit it out. It's
Cover
fine.
your ears at home.
Okay, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is at number 4 for me over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and you don't see Jalen Hurts here at all. CJ Stroud is top 4 for me because I do believe it. For the same reason he believes that Jalen Hurts is the reason his team is winning, I believe CJ Stroud is completely the reason why his team. If you were to tell me before the season started that Nico Collins, Tank Dell would have been so dynamic this year, I would have said you're lying. You're lying. It's not going to happen. Dalton Schultz, was he great with the Cowboys? Absolutely not. Did he have a good quarterback? Yes, he did. Does he look great this year before he gets injured? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe CJ Stroud has taken this team, given them a reason to be successful and want to win, and has done it in an impressive way with his throwing ability. A lot of people wanted to put, we ain't going to say no names, but Bryce Young and Will Levis and Richardson above him. And like a week before the draft started, he went from second to possible first to second to not even the 4th best quarterback. Like, you're kidding me. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. But watching him at Ohio State, I kind of saw this coming. Very accurate with the ball. More athletic than people give him credit for. And I believe he will be a perennial top 5 quarterback, top 10 at least, probably top 5 quarterback in this league. Tua, what can you say? When you got all the fast guys in ball, it's easy to play quarterback, is it not? That being said, yes, stop to make the throws, and he's able to make them very accurate. That's really all you need to say. Like, he's just played great, and I hope he stays healthy. But top 3 right now: Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. I'm going to say 1 and 2. Brock Purdy's looked good. Don't get me wrong. He has impressed me a lot more than I thought he was going to this year. But again, the steps that Dak took from last year to this year impresses me more than what Brock Purdy has shown individually himself. Team-wise, I think Brock Purdy obviously fits his team so well, knows the system well. He was explaining the same play that you were talking. Throws it to Debo deep for that 50-yard catch. He's explaining what he saw from the safety. He's like saying the safety creeps up. I immediately, if this ball's not even supposed to go to him, I immediately look to Debo, throw it deep. Like, smart quarterback, has a good arm. A lot of people think he doesn't have arm strength. I mean, arm strength is more than just throwing the ball far. It's also velocity, and he has all of that. He has the full package. That being said, I think Dak Prescott offers a little bit more, with his legs. And again, I think Dak Prescott just has the game figured out finally. I think this is the Dak Prescott you will be seeing for the rest of his career. Again, whether that's because of his cadence, because of his drop back, I think he has everything cleaned. He has the weapons, and he's able to make every throw. That's the correct top 10, and if you don't like it, you're wrong.
I don't like it.
I don't either. Leave it. Leave it.
Poor K.
You guys already saw the top list. Do we even need to, Jerry?
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I can speed run it if
what
you
do
want me to.
No, I'm just joking. Jerry, what do you got for us?
All right, I'm going to start from the top and go down. I think, we've already hammered out Dak and Brock. It's pretty clear 1 and 2 right now. I put Tua at number 3. When you have guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Mostert and Achane coming out of the backfield, it's pretty easy to play quarterback. Like Jason said, just throw the ball up. They're going to go get in. They're going to run for 1,000,000 yards. It's pretty easy to play quarterback. But Tua's also making a lot of good decisions back there. He is taking care of the ball, and he's doing a really good job of reading plays. When they do their RPO, he's doing a really good job of knowing when to hand the ball off, when to pull it and run it, and also when to hit that slant route. Maybe even pitch it to the outside. It's just a smart quarterback. I agree with Jason with what happened last year with his concussions. I just hope he stays healthy and doesn't have that happen again, because if it does, it could be very serious. So good to see from Tua. I have Lamar Jackson at number 4. When you have the 1 seed in the AFC, you're leading your division, piloting a team like the Ravens, even with the amount of drop balls that they've had this year, they're still pulling out games. And Lamar Jackson, Ryan said it best, he's just a solid quarterback. You know what you're getting out of him week in and week out. He's going to deliver. It's up to the guys around him to kind of support him. And it's also good to see that the Ravens have put guys around him in OBJ, Zay Flowers. And even without Mark Andrews, they're still really, really playing well. Again, you don't get to the number 1 seed in the AFC without being a pretty good team with a good quarterback. So it's good to see. I have CJ Stroud at number 5. Up until this week, CJ Stroud was playing like an MVP candidate. I wouldn't say obviously he was the favorite, but definitely in the conversation. Unfortunately, I think that's out the window after this week. But still playing really good ball, especially for the number 2 pick being a rookie. He's really made strides within the last couple of weeks. Even in the absence of Tank Dell against the Broncos, he lit it up with Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins had like 190 something yards. Is that correct? Like, just unbelievable. Yeah, he's playing very good ball. At Ohio State, he was good. I agree with Jason. I don't know why he didn't go number 1. He was number 1 all season up until like a couple weeks before the draft, and then the Panthers. Yeah, you're seeing how that's working out for him now. Josh Allen. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was just tying in like it's surprising, but it's not surprising because Justin Fields was the number 2 pick for all the whole year, and even talks about because Urban Meyer's going to Jacksonville, are they going to take him instead? And then he falls all the way back in the draft and is the 4th quarterback taken. Doesn't make much sense. Ohio State quarterbacks hopefully now will get a little bit better rep. But anyway, continue, please.
Yeah, no, I agree. Josh Allen at number 6. He's the guy. He's gonna take some risks. We've seen that this year, and he takes a lot of them. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But he's also a very dynamic dynamic quarterback. He can run the ball. He's sneaky fast. Like a guy that big, you wouldn't think is that fast, but he can he can run the ball, and he's also not afraid to get physical and put his shoulder into somebody.
Come on, we're not using sneaky fast with Josh Allen.
Get out of here, bro.
We're not
He's
using
not.
sneaky
Okay, come
fast.
on. You see how
Good
big
He
job.
that
is
dude
sneaky
is?
fast.
Ow.
He is sneaky fast. Him and Baker Mayfield have the same 40-yard dash time.
Yeah.
I am. Okay, sure. He's sneaky fast.
I'm confused on what you disagree with.
It's sneaky fast.
Huh?
Ridiculous. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Whatever. All right, sneaky fast and physical. Likes to get in the game. Likes to take a hit. He's just probably gonna get hurt bad one of these days. But again, a guy that he's leading the league. I looked it up, Ryan. He is leading the league in total touchdowns. I think he has 35. Jalen Hurts is second, I believe, with 31.
Yeah, he's not that good though.
Push,
Remember.
push. Tush, push, baby.
Hey, if it works, it works. If it ain't
I
broke, don't
agree.
fix it.
I agree.
All right, number 7, Patrick Mahomes, my least favorite quarterback in the league. Crybaby. His team sucks. His wide receivers can't catch the ball.
He's bad, quote unquote.
He is bad. That's why he's number 7. No, look, we all know what Patrick Mahomes is. At the end of the day, there's probably going to be an argument to be made once his career is over that he could go down as the best quarterback of all time. It's, he's already got 2 Super Bowls under his belt. The guy can play lights out. He can get the job done, even if he sounds like Kermit the Frog. But this year, not so much. He doesn't have anybody to throw to besides Travis Kelce. And with Isaiah Pacheco out last week, they couldn't really run the ball. Even with the lights out defense that they have, they are sitting at 8-5, only 1 game ahead of the Broncos for the division. The Broncos, who started 1-5 this year. Got to play better, Patty. Number 8, Matthew Stafford. Coming out of his injury and getting Cooper Kupp back, he's played amazing, leading his Rams team. I think they were sitting at 3-5, 2-5 maybe. Now they're in the playoffs. They're in the 7th seed, I believe. 6th seed, sorry. They're in the 6th seed. With a guy like Puka Nacua who came out of nowhere, just absolutely lighting it up. And when you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback like Matthew Stafford, anything can happen. Those guys are going to make the playoffs. Number 9, probably my most controversial spot, Jalen Hurts. If you had asked me 4 weeks ago, Jalen Hurts probably would have been the number 1 guy. He has not played well since the Chiefs game. They did not look good against the Chiefs. They did not look good in the first half against the Bills. It takes them too long to get up and running. Even if he's second in touchdowns, that's fine. He's got to step his game up here in the next couple weeks if he wants to earn a little bit more respect from my top 10 list. And then you got number 10, Jared Goff. Probably the most inconsistent quarterback over the last couple of weeks. Just I don't know where to start. He just keeps turning the ball over. But then he'll have a game where he's throwing for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. You got to be better. You got to be more consistent if you want to be in that upper echelon of teams, upper echelon of quarterbacks. I think he is very good. I would take him over Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields any day of the week. Sorry, Jason. But got to play better. And that's my top 10 list.
That's a pretty good top 10 list. I like it. I like it a lot. I think Jalen Hurts is too low. I think you have, when you play literally really all top 10 teams all right in a row, very difficult to be consistently good. But still, good list from all of us. Good work, guys. Thanks for watching this video of the Unnamed Sports Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media at Unnamed Sports S. Also, be sure to join us live Wednesdays at 7 p.m.